Hey there, everybody. Robert Taylor with Wonderscape Creations, continuing on with the world building series, specifically with the materials. Uh, Before we do continue, I do want to provide a brief shout out to my Patreon supporters. If you would like to join the community, the link is down below. Additionally, for those who would wish to donate but do not want to subscribe to Patreon, I do have a Buy Me a Coffee, so that link is also in the description. So last episode we got the texture form of the triplanar blending done. Now we're going to do the normal form of the triplanar blending. Now it's important to note that although similar, there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of additional things that are added. So what we're going to do to save up on some time is we're going to duplicate this triplanar texture. So copy and paste it, F2 to rename, and we're going to name it triplanar normal. To give it an open up. And let's make a few changes. First thing, we're not going to need this in the normal, so we can close those out. We don't need them. The next thing we are going to do is up here where we see G and B, we need to change what these are called, because like I said, there's a lot. This will be triplanar blend G, because I don't want to respell all that. Copy and paste. There we go. So we have those set up. The next thing is that's gone, that's gone, these are gone. Let's go to back up here to this. We need to drag out of here, make a reroute, call it vert norm ws to get a vert norm ws right there. The next thing we're going to want to do, let's move these down here for a bit. We'll change those as needed. Is we want to right click vert norm ws, and we want to get a sign. From the sign, we want to hold down the M to get a multiply. Hold down the 3 to get a vector 3. And we want this one to be -1, 1, 1. Okay. Then we're going to pull out a component mask. This one will be R. Excuse me. This one will be G. And this one will be B. Then from here, we will do a reroute for R. Reroute for G. And a reroute for B. The next thing we are going to want to do, okay, is we want to have these next to each other so it's easy to see. We are going to be good here. Next thing we want to do is this GB. We're going to disconnect it. We'll be using it in a minute, but it's no longer where we're starting. We're now going to come up here to the named reroutes, get the R, pull down the append is what we need. Sorry, I thought we were needing a multiply. Hold down the 1 key. This is going to be a 1. Now we need the multiply. and put the GB right there, and put the multiply in here. All right. Next thing we're going to do to make this a bit easier to see is first we're going to come over here to the texture object because we want it to be default normal. There we go. Whoa. I double clicked on it. That's what happens. Okie dokie. Alright, I'm seeing some visual differences, so we're going to ignore that for now and assume that everything is going to work as intended. This is definitely looking because of that. Let's turn that off right there. Let's take a look here. Okay, so it is working, as you can see. It just for some reason is looking different right here than it is on my other screen. So we will definitely continue on from here. Now then again, we're going to disconnect this. Let's go ahead and grab these minus the G, B, and the R, copy, paste, save us on some work here. And this one is going to be the G. So come out of here, get the G, just like that. All right. And now paste so that we can, here we go. We want the RG right there. And then now we want the, if you hadn't guessed it, the B. Oops, I don't know why I typed the B. There we go. Now, just in case you hadn't noticed, RGB, RGB, RGB. Normals, as I said, are quite a bit more complex. They're needing to be set up in a precise manner to make sure that everything works as it should. So now, here's where a whole bunch of work comes in. We're going to bring this back over here. Excuse me. We need to make a whole bunch of reroute nodes. So, reroute. This one is going to be GBS for GBs, which is right here, GB, R. Copy, paste. G. Copy, paste. B. So now we have these set up. Now we're going to do it again for our B's are. Copy, paste, paste. This one a G. And make this one a B. And this one is our G's. R. Copy, paste, paste. Now remember, you don't necessarily have to do all these reroute nodes. I am simply doing them to make it easier for the rest of you to follow along. Otherwise, there is a whole bunch of spaghetti code that we are about to make right now that won't look like that because of reroute nodes. Excuse me. So in this first one, we want to get an append many. And out of the RGB, we are going to put reroute. We will name this GBS RGB. That one goes right here. GBS RGB. Now, we are going to see a little bit of magic here. First thing we want to get is GBSB. Hold down the M. And then we want the, one more thing that we need to make because it's not here yet. And it comes down here. We want to get our vert norm WS. And we're going to split the component. And then reroute VER norm R. Reroute VER norm G. Reroute VER norm B. Then we want to get a sign. Multiply. Hold down the 3 key for a -1, 1, 1. Place that in here. And we want another split component. Then I'm going to copy and paste these. RGB. And for all of these, we want to, after the norm, put sign. Cool. Now, let's come back up here where we're making the math happen. We are going to want ver norm B. No, not B. R. That was close. These need to be precise or there's going to be issues. Plug in the R. Starting to see some color showing up here. Now in the G, we want an add node. And then we're going to want a multiply node, so hold down an M if you want to do it that way. Now, in the add, we want the ver norm G. And then right here, we want the GBS R. As you can see, things are starting to show up here. Then in the B, we want the vert norm. What did I name it? Oh, ver is what I named it. Ver norm sign R. All right. Now for the B, we want another add. And down here, ver norm B. And then hold down the M for multiply. Make this B a -1. Then out of here, we want the GBSG. Okay. All right. So let's drag out of here. we're going to, out of this lerp, get a transform why isn't it, is it this one? Yeah, okay, it's just called transform. We want it to be from world space to tangent space. Plug that in. There we go. As you can see, now we have our normals back how they should be, blue instead of the weird colors. And this is just 1/3 of what we need to do. Now we need to copy paste. This one is going to be RB's RGB. And RB's RGB is right here. That should be these colors here, these sides right here, which we will do now. Sorry, I'm not used to having such little space, making everything bigger. So I'm having to move things around a lot more so that you guys have an easier time seeing. Okay, perfect. So first hold down A to get an add. And then hold down M to get an add. I mean M to get a multiply, A to get an add. So this is how we want this right here. As you can see, R is add, G is multiply, B is add. Now we want to hold down the M, place right here in the top add, and hold down M again for the bottom add. Make this multiply a -1. Perfect. Now we want from this multiply RB's B. And then in here we want BER norm G. And then in this add we want BER norm R. And in this add BER norm B. Okay, starting to get these good, and I'm sorry, I have to have things a little more organized than they are right now, and it is bothering me. Alright, so now out of this multiply we want the RBSR, and then for the B we want it to be VER norm sine G. As you can see, it's starting to pop up. Looks a little off, but it'll be fine in a moment. Now we drag out of here to get the RBSG. There we go. 2 sides down, 1 side to go. Well, technically 4 sides down, but you know what I mean. That over here. Copy, paste. And we want this one to be RG. Okay. Now let's get started. Hold down A to get an add for R. Hold down A to get an add for G. Hold down M to get a multiply for B. Now hold down an M not an N. Hold down an M to get a multiply, put it into the add for R. Now we're going to want a VER normal R. In this add. And then in this add, we want the VER norm G and the RGSG. Now this multiply, we want the VER norm B and then the RGSB. Then lastly, from this multiply, we want the RGSR and the VER norm sign B. There we go. As you can see, extremely complicated compared to the last one, but we have it working, we have it set up, and it looks perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and save. I'm going to close it. One thing I forgot to do, so let's, oh no, because I copied and pasted, so it'll be there. Right click, come over here, we should see triplanar normal. Perfect. So in the next episode, we will get triplanar set up with these 4 textures, and then in following episodes, we will get the last 2 color alteration nodes set up so that tiling is virtually impossible to see. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.